Welcome back, America. We have our friend Kevin McCarthy with us. Kevin McCarthy, you were not only the speaker, but you were a resident of California. You're still a resident of California. You know Donald Trump very, very well. You know all about Kamala Harris. People are looking, people are wondering. You see a big difference between these two?
It could not be a greater contrast. You have to see what Kamala has left in her wake. Remember, she comes from California, but she just doesn't come from California. She comes from the most liberal point in the entire nation, San Francisco. And it's not just letting the borders wide open. San Francisco allows illegal citizens to vote in their school board. As Attorney General, it is her responsibility to write the language for propositions to go forward, to give to the voters what does this initiative actually do. She was the one that crafts the language that now allows people in California to steal up to a little less than $1,000 with no prosecution that has destroyed this state. If you look at the city of the wake she left in San Francisco, stores are collapsing, rent is going down, buildings are being given back. It's riddled with crime everywhere because she was the prosecutor, but she was the Soros prosecutor. And you've watched time and again her lack of ability as a VP. What has she done? She's had the responsibility of the border, but she implied it exactly of what she has done in California. Contrast that with President Trump. He'll secure the border, economically strong, believes in law and order, believes in safe streets, and more importantly, he cares about your children. She does not allow any school choice. It doesn't matter how bad, it doesn't matter it comes from the most ethnic background of any school district. She will not let you get out of a bad school.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I look at Kamala Harris and I think to myself, this is the most radical person I have ever seen as vice president who wants to be president. The media are Praetorian Guard trying to protect her the way they tried to protect Biden from her own record. But we have video. They're telling us, like with Biden, don't believe your eyes. We have audio. They're telling us, like Biden, don't believe what you hear. You live and lived in California under her as Attorney General. You saw her in the Senate when you were in the House. She's every damn bit as crazy radical as we think and see and hear, isn't she?
She is, but it's even more ruthless than what she's able to do. I watched her, in my time dealing with President Biden, lie. She was the individual who would attack me when I would walk out and tell the truth of what I saw Biden not being the same person. If you watch, this has a lot of similarities to a presidential race in 1988. You had Dukakis, a very liberal governor from Massachusetts that the press got behind. He came out with a 17-point lead of mid-July coming out of the convention. He picked what they considered a moderate Democrat from Texas. But you know what? You sat back, you told the truth. Where was he on crime? He was weak. Where was he the most liberal going through? And you watched that lead erode until President Bush moved through and won in a big electoral college. And lo and behold, President Bush picked this young, unknown senator from the Midwest for vice president. Turned out pretty well. But this is an individual who I've watched time and again as Attorney General of California and the U.S. Senate. And let me tell you this. When she got elected to the U.S. Senate, I was the majority leader. I reached out to meet with her. Not once would she meet with me. If I talked to the Democrats inside the California delegation, they didn't care for her because she would not meet. And let me tell you something else. It is known in California and it's known in Washington. It is a heroic work environment if you work for her. Nobody lasts very long. Even as VP, when she didn't do anything, she could not keep staff. That is a person that the press will never talk about, her most liberal policies, but more importantly, the work environment she's around. How she treats people around her is a real indication of what she'll do in the future.
Yeah, it's 100%. And there's enough staffers out there, some of them on the record, that the press could interview. They could talk to them so people really know who Kamala Harris is. Based on what I'm reading, she's a very angry, nasty person when it comes to the people around her. They can't stand her. It's not just that it's a tough work environment. They literally cannot stand her. And this is over a course of many years as DA, as Attorney General, as Senator, and as Vice President. And they put her out there like she's some kind of, sweet lady. She's not. When we come back, You're very supportive of Israel. You spoke to the Knesset at Israel. You're very friendly with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Are you concerned about her embrace of radical groups like CARE? The fact that she wouldn't watch at a speech of the Prime Minister and that she uses Hamas blood libels and statistics against the Israeli state? I'd love your opinion. We'll be right back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.